And when they see English number
vehicles,
plates, that's it. They know that you're fishing there. So,
I don't think the French like English that much. So I get that vibe.
Definitely don't. To all our French listeners.
So definitely don't break any rules when the guards are around. That's for sure. Can you ever remember that song? That band, Keen. You ever remember Keen?
Years ago. What song was? They had some good songs. Keen
they filmed their good song on that Whirlpool when they
really?
put that piano. You remember that piano like floating?
Yeah, I know the video you're talking about now. I can picture it.
That Whirlpool was in the middle of nowhere.
Cold.
We need to pull that up, put it in the edit. That way.
I can literally hear it in my head now.
But pretty much that's where I started doing a bit of perch fishing and whatever came along, mate. He slipped and he was literally like fingers into the grass, mate. I've never heard my voice go like that. I shouted like, "Dad!" I thought it was like the last moment. It was that bad, honestly.
Welcome to the United Anglers podcast with me, your host, Matthew Forshaw. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow so you don't miss any of the up and coming episodes. If you want to send us a voice note, hit us up on the email below. Follow us on all socials, and I hope you like the next episode. Right, welcome back to United Anglers podcast. Today I've got Jack Thomson with me, aka Forbidden Roots. How we doing, mate?
Not bad, mate. You?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Cheers for having us on. Studio looks superb.
Yeah, nice space. So, first off, we're going to start off with thanking the sponsors, Spiro and Baitworks. And again, the free giveaway this month is a air dry bag. I've got one of these myself. This one's in the camo green and also comes in the olive. So yeah, best voice note or question of the podcast you get to choose.
Yeah.
So listen out when they come at the end.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, potentially go with like best comment, something like that in the videos. Mix it up a little bit, maybe.
Best comment in the video.
Yeah. Maybe like and subscribe and the best comment.
Yeah, that's it.
Potentially win something.
Why not?
Yeah, we can mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, gives them a chance to win something, doesn't it?
Yeah. So when this video comes out, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll pick a winner then.
Yes.
That sounds good. Mix it up a bit.
Nice.
Right. So first off, we normally go straight in with some quickfire questions.
Right. Okay.
Just to break the ice a little bit. So let's have a go at that. Pop-ups or bottom baits?
Pop-ups.
Pop-ups. Going for pop-ups. Camo or olive green?
Olive.
Ground sheet or bareback?
Bareback.
Brolly or bivvy?
Brolly.
Or camper van now?
Yeah, or camper van.
Leg clips or helicopters?
Leg clips.
Free on a spot or spread?
Spread.
Spread them. Spom, catapult or frying stick?
I'd say catapult.
Catapult?
Yeah.
Nice. That kind of answers the next
Cool, that
one.
was well quick, wasn't it? That was quick fire. I thought it might get a little bit stuttery.
Well, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favourite fish, dead or alive?
Oh, that is a hard one. I have to go for one that everyone goes for, probably.
Mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
Craig did.
Yeah, I know.
It's a hard one.
Not sure, mate. Can I come back to you on that one?
Come back. What's your favourite biscuit?
Oh, Balderman's dark ginger.
Wow, that's specific.
I know. You had them ones or not?
No, I don't think I have.
You know, like those posh biscuits that come in a little Balderman's
I know.
packet.
You get them in a hotel sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The dark orange, like gingery ones are those, mate. They're the nuts.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah.
They sound pretty good.
You don't get many of them, though. So you have to, only special occasions.
Sound pretty expensive, doesn't it? I like it. Something different. Yeah. Something for people to try. Tea or coffee?
Coffee, probably.
Favourite meal on the bank?
Ooh. I'm useless, mate, at cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Got the camper van. Haven't really cooked in there.
Still pot noodles and that.
Well, I'll do a bacon sandwich. That's probably my favourite meal on the bank, to be fair, bacon sandwich.
Bacon sandwich? Yeah, classic though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I do like a bit of brekker, to be fair. But when it comes to in the evenings, I really can't be bothered with all the washing up and that afterwards. So
I thought I saw you did a story of, was it about a few weeks back, you were cooking in there? Looked like
I did.
Was it fajitas or something? Looked pretty nice.
You know why? Because I took my missus with me. So, a few brownie points. And I only done that on the first night as well. So she took over after. So I managed to film that bit,
I saw that.
Like I'd done something.
I thought that looks all right. That's like a bit of me.
It's good. I've got a quick one. I've got an extra one to chuck in there as well.
Oh, yeah?
You're with the missus. You're going to stay in a camper van or a hotel?
Ooh, definitely the camper van.
Yeah.
It's that good.
On the side of the canal, yeah.
That's where you get
100%.
that, isn't it?
But to be fair, like I said, it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and on that trip, we had a lovely hotel, mate.
Yeah.
Overlooking this like 50-acre lake. It was absolutely superb.
Was it a fishable lake or?
Yeah, it was. I went for a beer like around it. There was like some little bar overlooking the lake, and I did ask him if there was CARP in there, and he said there was. And I was like, I might have to come back to that when it's a bit hotter.
Pin that in your phone.
Yeah, that's it. It's getting a bit mental with my phone now. Pins, like, it's just you can't even figure out where you've been anymore.
I can imagine.
When you start getting into it over there.
Yeah, I find it hard enough putting all my wraps down and bloody just fish in England, let alone abroad and everything.
Have you done any abroad fishing?
Only like your commercial waters. I've not done any of the adventures
like Abbey and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Lac Brielle I fished a few times. CARP skates, but I don't know if that's still around anymore. That's gone now. Actually, my old boss, guy I used to work for, used to fish. Used to live in this like near the south of France, like 8 hours down.
Yeah.
And there was a barrage there that we used to go and fish. That was a free fishing lake.
How was it?
And there's some mega fishing there. We had some good fishing there. That's probably the closest I've done to like that freedom.
Do you not want to get into doing some of the old public waters?
100%. But with a young family, I've got
that's
a five-month-year-old at the moment, so it's pretty hectic.
Yeah, that's it. Responsibilities come first, don't they?
Yeah, I've got to stay in England at the moment.
Luckily, I don't have that at the moment. So.
Yeah, keep it that way. Man. No, I'm joking.
Get a cut.
Start again, please.
No, I've so enjoyed it, mate. Over there, like the last year, I've really been getting into it. It's sort of killed my English fishing a little bit. Just because of the freedom and that you get out there, it's just amazing.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
I think Mike and that from Baitworks were saying in one of their podcasts that once you've got that freedom and there's like less anglers, mega fish, that you've got that element of surprise. Once you come back to England, you're kind of a bit like
exactly
a bit spoiled, really.
Especially on the canals. Like some lakes, you know, if you get a pin, you go, that you know what fish is in there. But if you do like what I have done on a few of my videos now, is when you just rock up to a random canal, you just put some bait in it.
Yeah.
You come back like 4 days later, you literally don't know what's when that alarm goes, mate. You have no idea what's on the end.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of good surprises, mate, recently.
Yeah. No, it definitely appeals to me. Definitely, like something to look for, like to do in the future. Hopefully, it's not ruined by then, though. You know what I mean? The way fishing is, it's like it's getting bigger and bigger, which is good. But like, it's just like.
It's the problem at the moment, isn't it, with films and everything? But that's just the way life is now, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing. Obviously, we want to encourage people to get out on the bank and fishing. But
I feel personally bad sometimes because I've made a film on the Belgian Canal before, and I'm not the only one who's done a film on that section. But now, you go over there, it's like fishing linear fisheries. Like it's English all along it. Section's not even long, and there's like 8 people along there. So it does buzzkill me a little bit when I see that. I think I mean it's part of the game, but now I try and cut all the background out and everything like that because, like I say, it's all the Belgium anglers,
respect to them
stuff,
kind of thing.
I don't want to ruin anyone's fishing, but at the end of the day, I'm there to make a film, especially now, with deals and stuff. So it's a bit of a hard one to.
It is. I think Carl on the Quarter podcast mentioned that. About making films out there and stuff, and like people asked him about a question. I think they asked him a question about when you're ruining a water, or people had like comments saying, "Oh, you just ruined our local water or whatever because you made a video on it." But it's kind of like it's a really touchy subject, isn't it? It's like hard. Like you're trying to do the right thing by making these good content for everyone to watch, but then in another way, like people are looking at that as like, "Oh, that's my special place," and now everyone knows about it. But it's like it's a real hard one.
Like I know at least 5 people in the next month that are going out to that particular stretch.
Yeah.
But when I've been out there, I've been speaking to some Belgian anglers and they like it and they all go there now.
Okay.
Because it stops everyone else going to all the
other
stretches. So that's the thing with us English. At the beginning, when you go out there, you need a starting point. Yeah. So everyone always looks for that. Those sections of canals now. So
that makes sense.
It's not until you've been out there a few times and you're feeling a bit braver that you decide that you're going to try and venture off on your own and try and find something else. But
then you could just be driving around for days
just
trying to find something. Because a lot of the time you get to these places and you realise you can't fish at night or you're not allowed boats.
Belgium's not so strict.
Is it not?
It's not so strict. Bad. Belgium's like lovely.
Right.
I really like it in Belgium because you haven't got the guard there. So they're not pestering you for your licences and that all the time. Even though I've got one, but I've never had my licence checked once in Belgium. But
are you allowed to night fish most places?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, pretty much. I've never come across somewhere where you can't do a night.
Right, because there's a lot of places in France that it's like literally as soon as it gets dark, you have to wind in.
France is a whole different level.
It is, isn't
like
it?
I've only been a few times, and like public waters, and every time I end up in some kind of faff. Like I had a bit of my gear taken off me.
What, by the guard?
On the last trip, yeah, by the guard, because I was about 100 metres from that particular stretch where you could do a night. And I hadn't even got my rods out, and they come round, and they was like, "Oh no,
they're on it, mate. They don't miss a thing, do they?"
I can't believe it.
I've seen some other videos where there are people getting pulled, and it's just like.
It was about 11 o'clock at night as well. Just rolled up to the stretch in the middle of nowhere, and they're
there, waiting. Almost like they've been tipped off.
Yeah, but you think it probably is something to do.
Or even just, but I know
people would get nosy, don't they?
Yeah, because of that barrage we fish is in the middle of nowhere. They always are, aren't they? And then you got these local people walking around who live in like the local village, and they probably do look at you a bit like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And then they might even report it. You never know.
And when they see English number
vehicles,
plates, that's it. They know that you're fishing there. So,
I don't think the French like English that much. So I get that vibe.
Definitely don't. To all our French listeners.
So definitely don't break any rules when the guards are around. That's for sure.
Yeah,
because you won't have any gear left.
Yeah, mate, they don't fuck.
It depends who you get on though. Obviously on a certain day, but he was adamant. No, I had to give him a rod and a reel before I left.
Fucking hell. Yeah. What do they do with it? What do they do with it?
Where's that going?
Yeah, I bet it's auctioned
well, no,
off or
they
something.
take it until you pay the fine.
Oh right. Okay.
But I was going home the next morning, and he said, "Where we're taking this to is not open until the Tuesday or whatever." I was like, "Well, that's no good then, because obviously I'm not going to be there."
Wow.
So, but then I got the fine through the letterbox the next week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, mate, they're on it.
Never got my gear back though.
You never got your big gear back?
No, I haven't.
Oh, mate. That's a liberty. His son's now fishing with your rod.
I know,
Should have signed it.
I love that. Brand new.
Right, so let's take it back a little bit. Where did fishing start for you, and how did it start? Who got you into it? How old were you when you got into it?
I'm pretty much the same as everyone else. I always grew up around lakes and rivers. My dad took me when I was a youngster, on the whip.
Yeah, nice.
Just fishing for roach whilst he was carp fishing, actually. To be
is he a carp angler, is he?
He is, yeah. He's a bit of a static carp angler. Yeah. And he's not done much last year, so I keep trying to kick him up the arse.
You should get him on one of your films. I'm surprised you haven't got him.
He has been on there a few times, but he gets a bit camera shy whenever I put a camera on him. He goes,
fair. Yeah. To be fair, I get that. It's like an old-fashioned thing, isn't
it? Yeah, it is, yeah. He goes like that and shoulders up.
Don't film me.
Yeah, that's it. But
and typical then, sort of start to fishing.
Yeah, and then I think Dad had things in life where he then couldn't. Just busy, you know how it is, young family and everything like that. Sold all his gear, and I haven't lived with my dad since I was I don't know, year old. I can't even remember it. So obviously my parents are split. So I picked up fishing probably when I was in primary school. My mate had a little river that ran down the side of his house, and we always used to go down there. It was only a little pool, little weir pool on this river, like in the middle of nowhere as well. And we used to go down there and catch some perch and trout and things like that out of there.
Yeah.
But saying that weir pool, can you ever remember that song? That band, Keen. You ever remember Keen?
What song was? They had some good songs.
They filmed their good song on that weir pool, and they put that piano. You remember that piano like floating?
Yeah, I know the video you're talking about now. I can picture it.
That weir pool was in the middle of nowhere.
Cool.
We need to pull that up, put it in the edit. That way.
I can literally hear it in my head now.
But pretty much that's where I started doing a bit of perch fishing and whatever came along, mate. Really,
at that age you kind of
just faffing about, and then I didn't really start getting into carp fishing properly until later in secondary school.
Right.
You know how it is. All your mates and that, you all go fishing, don't you? You just want to go camping and have a few beers and bits and bobs.
Start a fire.
That's it. Yeah. And pretty much from there. Now I'm probably there's only one or two of us now from that selection which still fish.
Yeah, similar to us actually. There's only a handful that actually stuck it out. But at the time when we were in secondary school fishing, doing our first nights and that, we said in one of our podcasts, there's only a few of us now. The rest of them kind of like just, don't know, buy cars and get into
they
girls.
They fall off the wagon a little bit, don't they? And then, but they always find they come back to it later on in life, don't they?
I think that's the interesting thing with fishing. You don't get it in BMXing. When people leave BMXing, they never really come back because of the type of sport it is, I find.
I think it's a bit more...
When you get past that certain age, mate, BMXing, isn't it? Like, you don't bounce like you used to, do you?
You've got to keep it up. Whereas fishing, I think you could literally leave it for 20 years and then be like coming up to your retirement and go, I'm going to start fishing again. And I've heard people do that. I know people have done that. Right. And then they pick up their gear again, or they buy a new gear and they get out in the bank and love it as much as they did when they were kids. That's the beauty of fishing, I think.
You remember that place in East Sussex called Tanyards? Remember that?
Yeah.
So basically, I grew up in Tanyards' heyday, like when it had I don't know, had like 3 or 4 different like £35. I was saying it's like a heyday, but it was special
back
to
then,
us.
It was big fish back then.
Yeah, exactly. So we sort of started carp fishing, just going to like little runs, waters, taking like 30 loaves of bread and just catching them off the surface, and then you didn't really get on to Tanyards like Specie 2 until like you had the gear
That's a cool lake, that one.
Yeah, and that used to be where we'd head after school every day, every Friday, and we'd stay there for the weekend, Specie 2, mate. Never used to catch anything because it was actually quite a difficult water back then, for a 15-year-old or whatever we were at the time.
Was that step
had no clue about catching carp that size, but we wanted to have a go.
Yeah, no, it's a cool little lake, that. And had some nice fish in it.
It did,
What was that fish called? Was
the
it
mug.
The mug.
Shoulders,
that's it. Shoulders.
No peck. All those ones, mate. Like,
the original
ones. They were iconic to us back then.
My mate Jake had a lovely couple of big commons out of there.
Yeah.
They almost looked identical, and I remember he had them both on the same session, I think. And they were like just under 30, but at the time we were like, these things are huge. Like, we've only cut things up to like 18, 19, 20 pound scrapers.
It was such a small lake as well, wasn't it?
It is such a small lake.
You look back, it was like half an acre probably. But 5 swims on it.
And then you had pit 3, didn't you, at the end with catfishing, I think.
Yeah, Specie 3.
Specie 3.
That's it, like the horseshoe shaped one.
Yeah. I think Carl and Alex used to do a lot of videos on there.
They did.
Did you ever cross paths on there?
No, they were after us.
Okay.
I'm quite a bit older than them.
Yeah, I suppose you're
right. I was fishing.
How old are you?
32 now.
32.
Knocking on a bit now.
34.
Bit of a question though. Who names the fish?
Yeah.
Like, how does it get named Shoulders? Was it named after someone who caught him?
Bailiffs, isn't it, really?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's just if a fish has a certain mark or looks a certain way, then like there was one in there called No Peck. I don't know why it was called No Peck because it did have one peck, but.
Oh yeah, so it's not like
it was missing the pectoral fin, but everyone just called it one peck. No peck. Sorry.
No peck.
Yeah, that was a cool fish. I did manage to catch it. That was my first ever £30 at that one.
Was it? So you got any photos of that?
Yeah, somewhere in the archives, mate.
Somewhere. Have to dig some out for us.
Yes, they'll be taken on a proper old wind-up camera. I have got one somewhere. Did you ever have a fishing album from back in the day?
Yeah, I've still got one underneath my bedside cabinet. I've got like a photo album with all the old
used to write on the back and that.
I've got like, when you used to wear like those Nike TN hats and stuff. Yeah. And, like, just like no green whatsoever, holding like something I can dig some of them out, some embarrassing photos, but I think it's quite cool to look back at.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, mine were all like that.
School.
And then after Tanyards days, started fishing like beavers and things like that.
Yeah, that was more my neck of the woods.
Was it?
So you're fishing Tanyards, but we were fishing beavers.
I had to really I had to be good at school that week, to get my mum to drive me that extra bit further to beavers.
Yeah.
And then we were never allowed to fish decent lakes anyway, were we? Because we were under 18.
Mate, that was such a weird thing when it was like fishing daughters and majors, and you were like dreaming, you're looking at the I'm 17, I can't fish it until I'm 18, and then you turn 18, you're like, yes, I can finally fish snipe, and you get on there with all the older boys and you feel like you're a part of like that then. It's like weird, but now you've got to go fish it, don't even think about it, do you? But
what was the other lake? It was Tuscany, wasn't it? Yeah.
So they were like both
big catfish water, wasn't it?
Yeah, cats and carp in both, and then they drained them both down and put all the cats from snipe into Tuscany and all the carp from Tuscany into snipe, so it's just carp and cats now. Because white mixture before, it used to be a nightmare. Oh. Because those,
so Tuscany doesn't have a carp in it now?
No.
No. He used to feed me, that bailiff there, he was a nice fella, but he used to feed me all load of bullshit, basically.
They've had a few different bailiffs over the time. It's probably one of the old
He used
ones.
He used to tell me there was 30s in every single lake. And there was a couple of 40s in Tuscany and snipe, and that's why I was like, I can't wait to get on there. But Daughters used to be my favourite one. It was like a long little canal, wasn't it?
It literally feels like you're fishing a canal, doesn't it? Yeah, like literally like flick it over to the other side. That's a no fishing bank now, that far one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they stopped
to be fair, no one really fished it there, did they? But you could. But,
good.
I always remember it was on like half term, and my gran was looking after me that week, and they took me down there. God knows how old I was, but like 15, something like that. And it was the wettest, muddiest day ever. And I just got this brand new bivvy that had got me, like Argos special, you know.
Yeah, classic.
And I was caked, mate, head to toe. Where I've dragged my bivvy and that from Daughters Lake to Majors Lake. I didn't bother putting it in the bag. Just dragged it, put it in my chair. And when they come to pick me up, my granddad, he went, "You are not getting in my car like that." Absolutely, stripped me off, mate.
Driving home in your boxes, like.
Yeah. Mate, that was a day. He never took me fishing again after that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Does he fish at all? Or is he just?
No, Granddad never actually did. He, I think he like dabbled a bit with sea fishing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much sea fishing? I've dabbled in it over the years, like bit of bass fishing, like spinning and mackerels.
Do you know what? Something that I've always wanted to do is go and catch a really decent wrasse.
Yeah.
You know, down in Cornwall, you got those big old
colourful things, isn't they?
Oh,
and they're just on like little jigs and stuff. That does look like good fun.
There's a guy called Lawrence. I don't know if he does all the filming for Martin Bowler. What is it, Fish Flicks or
Fish Flicks?
Fish Flicks?
Yeah.
He's a superb videographer. You ever seen any of his stuff?
No, I haven't actually checked him out. I need to go check him out. Yeah.
No, anyway, he's superb, but he's an all-rounder. And mate, some of them wrasses he's cool. I keep knocking him, giving him a nudge at every show that I see. I'm like, come on, take me to that spot.
Yeah,
I will do.
Again, there's some secret old spots, isn't there? Yeah, come on, Lawrence. But there's some like secret spots out there for
he's had like 9-pounders, mate, but they're awesome.
Are they like off the rocks and stuff? Because they normally hang around those real rocky, kind of almost dangerous to fish places, aren't they?
Very dangerous. Yeah. I've got a bit of a story about that actually, because my dad, I don't know, my dad's like 60, mate. Is he? Yeah. Sorry, Dad, I don't know your age, but yeah, no, he might be like 65 now actually. Got worse now. But anyway,
sorry, mate, you're getting old.
Yeah. I said, it's been a long week, mate. Friday after work, it's just it's a hard one, isn't it? But yeah, we went down to Cornwall a couple of years ago. I was going down there to shoot a film on that Bute Canal.
Yeah.
With Jordan. It's right on the seafront, that is. But we booked a fishing trip while we were down there. I got it for my dad's birthday, shark fishing. But whilst we was down there, we were speaking with the tackle shop guy, and he said, "Oh, I know some good wrasse spots. I'll take you to one." I went, "All right, then, yeah, sweet." So we drove there after we'd done a bit of carp fishing, and it was torrential rain, mate. When I mean, the wipers were on full and you couldn't see.
Shit.
And then when we got there, I had no idea what he was trying to make us climb down. Like for us, I was bricking it, mate, looking down there thinking, oh my God. And my dad I was like, "Dad, are you actually going to be able to get down there, mate?"
Yeah, like, I can't carry you back.
And he went, you know, with a load of lads. He was like, "Yeah, of course I can, of course."
Oh no.
My dad's a big bloke, you know. And we were climbing down it. Oh my God, he slipped, mate. It's like absolutely, it was like vertical. He slipped, and God knows how. If he'd totally fallen, it would have been a helicopter job.
Yeah.
It was that bad, like.
Lifeboats and everything. Yeah. Because I've seen some videos, and they're like you say, it's like cliff faces, and you got the tides coming, like not the tide, but the waves are coming up.
Yeah.
Right up to you, and then it's like going down like 10 foot.
The old tide can definitely catch you out.
Yeah,
so you got to be careful when you're doing that rock fishing.
Yeah, fair play to those boys.
Yeah, he slipped and he was literally like fingers into the grass, mate. And I've never heard my voice go like that. I shouted like, "Dad!" I thought it was like the last moment. It was that bad, honestly.
Jesus.
And God, I couldn't enjoy my fishing after that day when we was down there because I was spinning about getting him back up there.
Yeah, I bet you were. Yeah,
I was behind him, just like trying to shove his ass up there. Like he's like a 20-stone bloke as well. I was like.
That's the thing, isn't it? So it's like as you get older, your brain still's like a teenager, but your body's just not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that.
You probably went into like fight and flight and that type of thing as well. So like the adrenaline's going, and like you said, you can't switch off.
No. It was
what a fucking scene.
Yeah, I certainly won't be taking him down there again, mate. That's for sure. And if I ever go back there, I'll be taking a rope, tie it onto a rock at the top or something, because it was that steep.
Wow.
But, or just don't do it when it's heavily rained.
I bet there's a lot of people listening. Well, hopefully people listening that will relate to that, like sketchy sort of fishing in the sea. Like it's different. You know, you get those like almost like not piers, but you get the rocks that go out to the lake, that like around the marinas and that. I fished off them like bass fishing, and they're dangerous. Like, savagely dangerous.
Yeah,
like,
when you get it comes straight over the wall.
And the wave, you just be fishing away, and then all of a sudden this wave almost like blows you off the side into the other side of the water. Yeah.
Sea fishing is pretty dangerous.
I've done it in Spain and stuff. It's like when you're kids and you go with your mum and dad and you buy this little cheap little rod from one of those little weird shops.
Yeah.
And then you go fishing a marina and that, and they're the same. They're like the sea, 1 minute it's really calm and that, and the next minute you got some fucking storm comes over and you're like holding onto these rocks with this rod, like it's really savage.
But also on that trip, I did do a bit of shark fishing, but I don't think I'll ever do that again. I found that a bit barbaric, mate.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't into that.
Didn't like it.
No,
I haven't done shark fishing. I've done congreels.
Yeah.
My mate.
But they're not so bad, are they? Because it's an eel, like.
They fight hard. Though.
Yeah, no, yeah. Sorry,
but yeah, they're not. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get one on the boat. They normally just gaffer hook them off.
Oh, do they?
Whatever, like they like bump them off.
So I think there's been a rule down there now. They're not allowed to get them on the boats, are they?
No.
But when we went, they did.
Oh, really?
Obviously, they're so big, aren't they? Like a good 100-pound blue shark coming onto the back of the boat.
Wow.
And they just let it do its thing. So obviously, with us being carp anglers, like carp care's our priority, isn't it?
Yeah.
So watching a shark, which has like sandpapery skin, up on the boat, and you're hearing it like that, and you can hear the thuds, mate, of them hitting the chairs and everything. And I was like, it doesn't take much to get like one of them old gym mats, from school or something like that.
Yeah,
and
like
just
a big one.
pad it out so it doesn't damage itself. So I wasn't too into it.
I suppose that's such a good point because, like, obviously as carp anglers, we properly care about like overkill sometimes, isn't it? Not saying it's overkill, but like everyone's so protective over these fish we fish for. Yeah. But then obviously it's a completely different ballgame with sea fishing. They're just like
that's it.
Drag it up the bank on the stones, like.
And not some of these fish, mate, like 200-300 pounds. Some of them that are coming out down there.
Wow.
And you're like.
Yeah, pretty savage. Yeah. Have you seen those tuna coming out now?
We're starting to get like quite a lot coming down to like Newquay area.
300-400 pound tuna coming in on the south coast of Cornwall. Yeah,
you have to have a special license to fish with them, though, don't you?
Serious. It's like serious industry, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
big bucks to go out for the day.
Big bucks, and also I think like because they're like protected, aren't they? Because they're worth so much money. Those tuna, like bluefin tuna. In other countries, they're worth.
You're not allowed to kill them when they have them. Then they're not. You don't take them for food. You're not allowed to take release.
No, it's all catch release. You're not even allowed to like touch them. You have to like photo your head over the side of the boat, like
unhook them.
and then just dump it off.
Yeah, I should imagine there are a few people that keep them. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, have you seen them bigger like the trawlers that they use to catch them?
No.
You've not seen them? It's like, oh mate, it's like a massive rake like towing behind the boat with like.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen
15
those
different lures on it.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like a shoulder fish.
Have you seen those other guys that stand there, the little tuna, and they just like literally put them in over the shoal and they just pull them in, and they do like the tuna going over their head into the back of the boat, and it unhooks them, and then they go back out and they pull another one.
Yeah,
I don't know what country that is, but it's savage. I watched a video on like TikTok or Instagram or something. I was like, what are they doing? Like,
God knows what hook he has on. I don't fancy one of them.
No. So, where were we? Going back to...
we've sort of gone right off course, haven't we?
But going back to fishing, so what after Tanyards and stuff, how did your fishing grow after there? Where's your first like syndicate or club water you fished?
My first proper... Well, it was not even really a syndicate, but my dad started getting back into carp fishing and buying all these new gear and stuff, keeping it all shiny and polished and that. And then... we decided, we was going to start fishing quite a lot together, and we, White Cottage we was on.
White Cottage, no.
You remember White Cottage? Up around like sort of, near Helsham area.
Helsham?
Around there. You used to have some really nice fishing.
My brothers live in Helsham now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right. And that lake's not far from there, and it used to have some absolute banging fish in it, like proper old ones.
Yeah, nice.
Still to this day, some nice ones. I keep thinking about going back for ones that I never got.
All right, fair.
But it was a really lovely, mature lake, right, and it had, like I said, some really nice ones in there. And we used to, without fail, every other weekend after work, we'd do 48 hours, and then same again, 48 hours. In 2 weeks' time, another 48 hours. It was Back then, I don't know, just life wasn't busy, was it? And you could do.
Yeah, I suppose because you're so young as well, you don't feel the busyness or the pressure, do you?
No, you don't.
The responsibilities we have now are completely overweigh the freedom, I suppose.
That's all I could think about for that next 2 weeks was getting back there and doing some more fishing.
I bet your dad loved it as well because it's like, as a dad now, my boy Finley's just getting into fishing a little bit. Take him
is he?
Just for a few hours I take him and he, we'll catch him off the top or stick a rod out. He realised what a bite alarm is now and stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
He goes mad when it bleeps and that. And
gets him all excited.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty cool. And but your dad must have had the same feeling I'm getting now. Is like just can't buzzing to get him out, and hopefully he likes it, and you can get. And this is an excuse to get out then. I'm hopefully Finley loves night fishing because they're like, oh Sally, I've got to take Finley, you want to go fishing? Oh no, you have to go fishing again, babe. You know what I mean? It's a perfect excuse to get out.
It was always our excuse as well. I had another mate as well, but I'll come on to him in a minute because I actually have missed a bit of what happened. But we'd always go down and we'd have a good old amount of beer, mate. It didn't matter really back then. People weren't really that fast, were they?
No.
Back then, you read Dave Lane's books and that. He used to leave his rods in the water and go down the pub and come back. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Times have definitely changed in that sense. Yeah.
So but back then, I'm talking probably I don't know, good 13 years ago or something. But that's what we used to do. Get there, get the rods out, we'd have a good old beer up and everything.
Beers,
but I always make sure the rods are out perfect first and stuff. Yeah. I swear I used to catch more fish back then as well. Maybe try that a bit more.
Try fishing drunk more.
It's No, it was brilliant because it was I used to be able to use the boat there as well, go out and drop my rigs, stuff like that. So I got a bit used to being able to use boat and things like that.
From a young age as well. That's a big edge because obviously I've done boat work as I've grown up, but. Yeah, I never did it when I was younger. When I first went out on a boat, bloody hell, what a mess. Oars and that, rod everywhere, how I didn't get a hook in me or fall off that boat, I don't know.
No.
It took me hours just to get the grips of it, because it's almost like going backwards, isn't it? Yeah. Everything's opposite.
It's worse when you've got a fish on, isn't it?
Oh, man, just spin around in a circle.
Especially if you have one of them old Seahawks, you remember them?
Yeah.
£30 inflatable boats. You always think you're being clever going out in one of them to land a fish. Oh my God, you'd be doing a figure of eight constantly. It's like no hope.
It just reminded me of a time for a lake in France, actually, funny enough. And I caught a fish, and it was 250s in the end, but I had them both on the same time. So one of them's taken out, the first fish has taken out my other line.
Oh, right, yeah.
I didn't realise there was fish on both of them. It was those weird situations that happen in fishing. I can't even explain it properly now.
Yeah.
What happened? Whether they both took at the same time or what? Because the right hand rod went first, but my left hand rod's gone over it and taken it out. Anyway, it's taken it out into this snag and to the island. I've gone out in the boat. I've got one rod in the hand and playing this fish, and I've realised my other line's around it. So I picked up the other line. I'm trying to untangle it as this big 50-pound mirror's sitting there. And then another 50-pound mirror pops up next to it and it's got my hook in its mouth as well from the other rod. And I was like, "What the hell?" Mate, the biggest mess ever.
I bet.
But I got them both in.
Oh, nice, fair play.
But I don't know how.
Did you go for like a one net scoop?
Yeah, it was literally. I've literally hand lined one into the net.
Yeah.
Picked up the first one on the rod, played that again, and got that in the net. Skills. It was just like. Well, I don't know about skills, mate. It was a right mess, mate. If you saw the video, you might think differently. But we got it in there safely. No fish was harmed, and I weren't harmed. But those fishing situations that you just I can't explain what just happened. How does that happen? That rod's gone. It's right over there.
Savage drop back. Pivot on the line.
I think it's
mental how they can do that sometimes.
Islands sometimes they look like they're level, but it's slightly like that.
Yeah.
I think that was what's happened, and it's run this way, and it's coming like a drop back like that, and I've had no indication on the left hand rod, just on the right.
Yeah. Did you have it bobbing on the floor as well? Sometimes that's a bad thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
fishing
it is.
Fishing slack line or something, you're bobbing on the floor.
Don't get no indication.
Have no idea until it's 200 yards up there. I've had that loads of times.
Yeah,
not ideal.
Savage.
Yes, I had it on the big pit that we was fishing a couple of years ago. Same thing. First thing in the morning, I'm like, what's going on here? The line's pointing down there.
Yeah,
it's funny how they can just pivot on the line, isn't it?
Pivot on the line. It shows you how much they get away with. When they're fishing coming towards you, and you're say even if you've got semi slack and you've had a couple of bleeps in the night, and you kind of when you wake up and you're like, nothing's happening. Nothing's been done. You go back to bed. But then your bobbin's on the floor in the morning, your line's gone over, then you're like, what? Made you feel like a right noddy, didn't it? But
it does, yeah.
These things happen, and you can never explain them.
Happens to the best of us, doesn't it, mate?
Yes, at least we can
the
own
best.
up to it.
Yeah. But some of all the decent anglers, mate, over the years, it all happened to them, isn't it? So.
Yeah, 100%. You'd be a liar if you said it didn't.
No, that's it.
But so have you ever had I know you fish certain syndicates, but is it like what's your favourite syndicate, or where'd you go from after?
Well, I was I skipped a bit just then,
right?
Because me and my dad got into it a bit later, so I was actually really into my carp fishing back then. Because I after I left school, I became a welder, and I used to make garden furniture like wrought iron stuff from scratch, and they used to be showed at like Chelsea Flower Show and that.
Sick. So like Freddie does that.
Fred does that, yeah.
So that's how I sort of learned how to be on the tools and stuff. I started there when I was like, I reckon about 15, 16, something like that. I was there for quite a few years. But there was a guy there called Colin, a good mate of mine now. He was a bit older, so we always had to hand deliver stuff because you couldn't send it with. But he was into his carp fishing, and he'd been to Cassie and stuff like that over the years. But he didn't really like going abroad after all that. He'd been on these trips, but didn't really fall in love with it. So he liked all day tickets, things like that. But back then, I was actually really lucky because he used to take me to all these different places, mate, when we was going out on deliveries, which in the summertime, we'd be out delivering everything that we'd made quite often. Like we'd end up, sometimes we had to hand deliver this thing in Aberdeen.
Wow.
Serious miles.
Serious trips,
But the amount of lakes you pass going to Aberdeen, and things like that. So I got... Like back then, it's not really my cup of tea now. It's definitely not my cup of tea now. But when you're 16 years old and you'd watch the Great Rod Race and all that, and you watch Monument 2. Was it Monument 2 or Monument 1? Monument 1. You remember when Mick Brown catch that 44 pound
off the gravel bar? Yeah.
Mate, it was like, that was like the place to go, wasn't it, when you were You dreamt of like, oh man.
I was like, what is this lake? Where is it now?
So it was like we'd stop at places like that.
That's mad.
RH Fisheries, the Western Park.
Right, yeah, I know.
Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never been there.
I've been there about 2 or 3 times, and that's not like the Monument and Acton Burnell and places like that. Those fish were quite original. Like it was a beautiful old estate lake in a boathouse, so you could rent that for like 3 or 4 nights.
Oh, sweet.
Or whatever it was, all week. So you used to go on holidays there. Mate, some of the fish were epic in there. I'd actually like to go back there one day because I don't think it's still like big rigs and things like that in there. Might be wrong, but you might have done.
Yeah, because that's another thing, isn't it? That RH fishery is like some bit. It's like a bit like Marmite. People either love it.
Yeah, exactly. Like now, I like you said, people love it, but it's not really my bag, to be honest.
Not
I don't
now,
really like.
but
not now, but back then.
Yeah.
But the fish in Western were just totally different. They were black, proper old original ones. Lovely fish, and then progressed from there. I've done a few British carps and things with him in the past.
Oh,
yeah, semi-finalist twice.
Oh, yeah,
like 16.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Is that the BCAC, the British?
Yeah.
We're talking about
that. I think I was like, I don't know, I must have been like one of the youngest people in there at the time because everyone used to sneer at me and that when I was walking past.
Is it clicky? Is it clicky?
Yeah,
there?
It was.
Is it?
Like even like I said, I was there like 16 years old, haven't got a clue what I'm doing, mate. Like in a British
it's the best way though. Chuck yourself straight in there.
Yeah, we didn't do too well the first time, and then had to go next year, and then we qualified to the semis, and then I've done it one more time since then. And
it's always something
I won the qualifier actually with Colin once, so that was a good memory.
Oh, sweet.
We just got this perfect peg, and we was just couldn't keep running. What was smashing them?
Yeah,
but
nice.
now I can think of anything worse.
Is that your worst nightmare?
Going up
it's
again.
Funny how you go through different stages in your fishing, isn't it? Like back then it was like this is lovely, like this is a dream, and then you go now you're like
Even though I love like the competing side of fishing, I've always grown up I've always been into my sports and stuff like that. So with competing, you get that buzz from it, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's I did quite like that aspect of it. And when you get through it, it's a bit of a buzz.
It's quite interesting what you're saying earlier. It almost sounds like you're on in skateboarding or BMX and you get like road trips. So you might do like 10 days around the UK and you hit all these different trails or skate parks and stuff. It almost sounds like that. You're on this job, but then you're stopping off, hitting these places.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And you're not there for days, are you?
No.
You're just in for what?
In
half
and
a day?
Yeah, no, we was literally we'd use that instead of hotel, because obviously you'd have to stop. So we'd load all the fishing gear up there and use that, like I said, as our hotel.
So you're both into fishing as well. It's
Yeah,
like you're dragging someone who's not.
Yeah, exactly. So over the years, we had like our routes if we was going that way, cool. Up north, or we're going down the
or if you're going somewhere, or whatever.
We knew where we would be heading. So it was
Google somewhere local.
I took it for granted back then, you know. Like
that was pretty cool.
I met up from a beer end of last year, and I got him to thank quite a lot, mate. To be fair, for my fishing, cause
sounds almost like a mentor, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, he was really. Like when I look back at it, like he really did help me out with fishing. Yeah, he used to give me loads of fishing gear and stuff like that. Sadly, he doesn't fish now though. It's a bit of a gutter, because we used to have some good times, but because someone broke into his car and nicked all his gear.
Oh no!
And then he
hate that.
And then he just went, "Do you know what? I'm just
it's pack it up." Yeah, I've had other mates that have had this happen to them, and then it like just kills the buzz, but the thought of getting that stuff back, because it takes years to build up what you've got in your tackle box, doesn't it? Just alone that is that's taken years to build up what's in there.
Yes.
And if that gets taken away from you, the thought of having to you don't even know what's in there half the time, do you? But the thought of it all like being gone, and you have to rebuild that it puts people off, doesn't it? And then stops them. I can see why it stops them fishing.
Yeah, so I felt for him, mate, because he like I say, he was
tough.
well into it, and then he just couldn't be bothered.
You have to organise like a little session and see if you can get into it.
I did say to him last year, I said, "Look, I've got plenty of rods, mate." I said, "We're to go down somewhere and see if he can catch a few." Well, I know he would. He was always quite good. Well, he always used to catch anyway.
If he's done the BCAC and you're clubbing him on that qualifier, then...
Yeah, even though it wasn't really his type of angling, either match fishing, but we always fancied our chances, you know.
Giving it a go, mate.
I think we got semi-final twice with winging it, so it was all right.
Yeah.
Interestingly, do you think it made you a better angler, essentially travelling to a lot of different spaces, rather than just sort of staying in the same...
Yeah. It's like now, I would say, I have got more riggy over the years, but... Like back then, it's just like being in the right place with where the carp are at that certain time, and that's what I would say. It's quite a strong part to my angling is my watercraft. I always manage to find them. If there's a river that's 7 mile long, I'll be walking it all day until I find them, and
it's a confidence thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
Once you've got it in your
head. Once you start doing rivers and canals, you have
to find them.
Yeah,
you can't be fishing for nothing.
Yeah, you really figure. Well, if the water clarity's good, but if you start to realise that having the rods in the water all the time isn't like the best thing. You've got to be there. You've got to find them, haven't you? Before getting them out.
Okay. So it's very easy to set up in a swim and just lick them out and be like, I just hope they come past me. But
on a lake, on like a 10 acre lake, they're never far from you, are they?
Not really.
You know, but on rivers and that, it can be a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, I bet.
I love that. Absolutely love it. Like if I had to give up lakes or canals and rivers, I'll give up lakes.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And that's what you're really, really into now.
Yeah, I'm quite passionate about it. I absolutely love it. I really want to catch like I want to get a 50-pounder from a canal this year.
That's would you? Special.
Yeah, on like the canals and stuff. Would you ever go on like one of those, like a longboat or anything like that, and sort of go down, travel through the locks and stuff like that? I think that'd be cool.
I have done a holiday like that before.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Through like Bath and Bristol and that. We rented one of them narrow. What was it like? Rosie and Jim when you was
Rosie and Jim.
Yeah, one of those boats.
I was literally, you took the words out of my mouth. I was thinking,
they used to hang out the window, didn't they?
Yeah,
bright blue hair. God, we're ancient, aren't we?
Rosie and Jim, mate. That was such a but they're one of those boats, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they must honestly, be a bit weird
that was like one of the best holidays I ever had, because I went with a couple of my mates and his old man, and he rented that boat for us to just have a lads week on it. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Learning how to use the locks.
That's what scares me. I was about to say that. That's what scares me about like in England, like the canals, they're doing the locks and I'd pull up at one and be like, oh fuck this.
Especially when you got a boat that's like 50 foot long.
Yeah, like they just I don't know. They look daunting.
Yeah, they are a little bit. You get used to them, because on that week you end up doing about 50 of them, like up and down. Yeah. But cool holidays if anyone ever fancies it.
Are they awkward to fish off those boats though? They're like a bit. They're not.
I didn't even fish. I did take some rods. I just didn't bother. We just used it as pretty much. Had a few beers. Yeah, kept going into like Bath and Bristol.
Sick.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Wicked holiday. I'd highly recommend.
I know people like I said about your camper van that we'll to get on in a bit, but people have like done up boats and instead and actually live on them and then travel around all around the Thames.
I know someone actually who lives up near Thorney Weir. He lives on that section.
Oh yeah,
on his boat.
There's plenty of
real nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you get a lot of people in London who live on boats as well because it's cheaper than obviously renting a flat or anything like that. And I know you have to
Jacob
move
did, didn't he?
Stuff like that.
Jacob, did he?
Jacob Worth, didn't he? He lived on a marina on there because I think it was a bit cheaper than renting.
Yeah, fair. No, he did. You're right now. Yeah,
so he had to have it out of the water because it was leaking or something.
Yeah. No, he did for a bit. I don't know if he still does he?
Don't think so.
No.
I think that's
probably fun in the summer, not so good in the winter.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You've got freezing cold water coming up underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I saw something on the news a little while back about did they trying to stop the tax? They're like trying to work out how to tax them or something. Or was it something like that in London because there's so many people doing it now?
Wow.
Oh really?
So many people are living on those narrow boats. And I saw something. I didn't take much notice, but I saw something on the news about they're trying to work out a way of like making it fair, like taxing them or something.
Right.
And everyone was kicking off about it. Yeah.
I like that stuff though. Like when people sort of think outside the box, the van life stuff or like the barge, like long, narrow boats or whatever. It's like rent's crazy. Like it's in like central London. So if you can find an alternative and enjoy it,
that's why so many people are now going camper vans, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a big thing now.
On YouTube, it's all over it, isn't it? Like people converting vans and living in them.
Yeah. And like full time. You see like teachers and stuff like that. Like down in Brighton, I watched some van life video, and they were like loving life because it's like they can travel. They only have to work part time 3 days a week, and they actually get a bit of a life.
Bit of a life because they haven't.
And they're young. They're in their 20s. Haven't got kids and stuff like that, and they can get around. Travel around and still do their job.
Yeah. That's the dream. If you was actually, you could afford to do content creating or whatever they call filmmaking like make it your job. Oh my god, you could literally do it out of the van, can't you?
Yeah, especially like fishing, with like the solar and stuff like you were saying. I saw this one video. This person had essentially they were traveling around, their graphic designer, and they basically just run all their laptops and everything off of the solar.
Yeah,
pretty smart.
Yeah, it is. So while we're on the subject, you've just started. Well, you finished your build now.
Pretty much, a few trims and bits and bobs to put on. But
tell us a bit about that. What made you start it? What van is it? And
I think I don't know. Over the last 3 or 4 years, I've just really got into it. And like I said, it's been quite popular on YouTube, isn't it? And I've just always liked the idea of travelling to all these places, not having to pay hotel bills, parking up in the most picturesque places. Yeah. Waking up in the morning, doors open, having a coffee, just going, oh man, this is the life. And I was like, even though I've got a house,
a sense of freedom.
Yeah, I was like, I've got to get myself one of them. So I've had a few projects going on over the last year. So buying the house, doing that up. Then I got to a certain point, and then I decided to build a massive koi pond in my back garden.
Oh, God,
and then now finally I was like, I'm going to do the van.
Yeah.
So it was. Took me 4 months straight after work every
wow. And you're
night.
Chippy, right?
Yeah.
So you obviously a bit hands on and
so
did it all
done
yourself.
all the work myself. Apart from the electrics, which I had a mate of mine, Sam's already built himself a camper van. So
nice.
So he helped me figure out how everything goes.
Yeah, because you were showing me some of that earlier, and it was pretty complicated.
Well, you didn't actually see it, did you?
Well, no,
underneath. Oh, mate.
From what you were explaining, like how the solar links to it and it charges itself, but then,
once you've got it and it's all up and running, you will understand how it all works. But it's like I could watch so many videos, I still couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Like until it's there in front of you and you got like a diagram, then you can sort of half get your head around it.
But you've got to have that because obviously it self charges.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And you've just come back from a trip, haven't you? And you said it pretty much.
You definitely need it, 100%. Like,
so talk us through the van. Essentially, how much did it cost? What sort of money did you put into it? You were mentioning earlier about the tyres and stuff. They did
I've got an
70,000 miles.
Still on the van, really. Well, it was a still now, but I took a right gamble on it. So I've got another van, which I use for my work, so it's absolutely battered, so I don't care about it. I just shove everything in it. So I was like, I need to get a new van to do this build. But I didn't want to. I knew how much the build was going to cost, because they're not cheap. Anything with camper van written on it or 12 volt costs an absolute fortune. So I was looking for a decent base to start, and I found this van which a guy had partially started doing. Hadn't cut out any of the windows or anything like that. He just started framing it all out. And then the engine blew up. So he spent God knows how many thousands fixing it, putting a brand new engine in it. I've got all the receipts and everything like that. And then because he spent so much money putting the engine in, he fell out of love with it, and he was like, I can't afford to do it, so I'm just going to cut my losses. And
after putting an engine in it, that's like
yeah, I know, but I think he just wanted to get his money back then. So I would have said I've got quite a good steal in it. I bought it for like $5,500. So
looking at it
with a brand new engine,
the shell is like,
and for a van that's done 200,000 miles, but now it's got a brand new engine. The shell's not too bad, is it?
No,
there's a few
not
little
at all.
spots, but
not at all. Like you say, you're going to get it wrapped anyway.
I am going to get it wrapped or sprayed, at some point.
It'd be brand new then.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out what colour to go, but it's
a hard one.
Yeah. Have you seen that Raptor paint? You ever seen that? It's like a real like textured paint.
Okay.
It's pretty much like sandpaper, but like a thin sandpaper.
Is that for like the army use it? Is it like a camo colour?
People start. No, you can get any colour.
Okay.
On the rail charts, isn't it? Or whatever. Yeah, you can get any colour on that. But it's getting well popular with vans because obviously you're going down dirt tracks, scratching it. It doesn't scratch.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard wearing. Obviously it will scratch, but it's very hard wearing.
Touch it up a little bit.
Because I did think about getting it wrapped, but I thought it'd be no good for fishing when we're going down.
Yeah.
Down like all little tracks and things like that.
They're not very like looked after tracks, are they? Like so the trees are overhanging and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it reminds me just quick when you talk about that paint that Paul Weller will know because he painted his van green. I painted my old van green. I think Ed Paul bought it off me actually in the end. I don't know if he's still good. I have to ask him. But I painted mine and I did it in like baking hot sun and with the wrong roller, and it turned out like orange peel. Like the paint did.
Oh,
like
really?
It's textured of like orange peel all over, and I did it like NATO green, old Vauxhall combo. I have to put a photo up so everyone can see it. It was sick though, but that texture almost added to it. People were like, "Wow, how did you do this?"
Did it last?
It lasted,
did it start peeling
like, you
off?
couldn't even if you pick your nail in it, you couldn't pick it.
No,
it was solid. Right. I hand sanded it.
That's what you need though. You're on a fishing wagon, don't you? You need a bit of hard wearing.
I think it's still going now.
Yeah,
I have to get some photos. Yeah, just it reminded me of that.
That's what. Yeah, so I think that's definitely the route I'm going to go down is getting it sprayed instead of wraps because you can pretty much rip a wrap, can't you? I don't know much about them.
It's going to be definitely weaker than a spray job. It might be worse, but I don't know what the difference is in price.
I think they're pretty similar. I've had quotes from 2 different people. Yeah, but there's this one guy that does it, and he's booked up till April next year. So I don't know if I want to wait that long, but I probably will because he does a good job. He sorts all the dents out. He sorts that door out.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Sort everything out.
If you want to do it, you got to do it.
And then come back,
do it properly.
Brand new.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
But God knows what condition it'll be in this time next year. After all the miles are going to put on it this year.
Yeah, but you've got to use and abuse these things. That's what it's there for, right?
It is, yeah.
And you've got those big wheels on there, the big tyres to obviously get you out.
Rogue alloys.
I see a lot of people getting stuck in these videos when they go abroad.
Well, funny you should say that. I got stuck last year with Lou from Waft.
Yeah.
We went on a trip and filmed a video last April, and we was going down this little track, and it got narrower and narrower and narrower until we couldn't turn around. We had to just go for it, and because it literally becomes so boggy within about 30 yards. When we went around this corner, and there was a couple of French anglers like bivvied up on this river, and they had to unpeg their bivvy for us to drive past because it was that narrow. Like we couldn't get through there. Anyway,
More reasons for them to hate us.
Yeah, I went to Lou. We're not getting through that, mate. He goes, no, I reckon we will. Just don't start. Oh my God, about 10 foot in, stuck. And honestly, we were in the middle of nowhere, mate. Absolutely. We'd had a savage day as well. I'd lost my drone. Something else happened. It happened in free. Can't remember. I lost a £50 right at the net.
No way.
And then got stuck. So it wasn't a good end to the trip or the day. Yeah. And
I hear a lot of this though. These are broad trips. They sound pretty savage. Like Mike and that lot from Baitworks, they're saying how like. It just doesn't, like 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, it's not going to plan.
No.
It's graft, things are going wrong, things are breaking, you're losing things, you're getting kicked out of places, You know, your boat's not inflating. You've run out of battery. Like, there's all these
driving
elements.
across the country to the next lake. Like, it's mental.
Find out it's busy.
Like, you wouldn't do it up here, would you? You wouldn't go, oh right, I'm going to drive up to blooming Scotland for one night and then come back down. And
you wouldn't, would you? But that's what you're doing, basically.
Oh, me and Luke covered so many miles last year. We were there for 5 nights, and we ended up down near the Swiss border, like literally for like a day session, and then just worked our way back. It was mental, but I wouldn't change it though because it was wicked. It was a good trip.
Well, that's an adventure, isn't it?
Struggled, yeah. We did struggle that trip. But
and when it all comes good, it makes it all the better, doesn't it?
Can't been that bad because I've been going back every like a couple of months since. So
no, and you've just been out. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, just
what you can tell us, obviously, because you've got a video coming out. So
there's a video coming out on Tracker's YouTube shortly about it. Just finished that edit actually. So yeah, that'll be coming out shortly. But yeah, I took the van on its first Europe adventure. So I didn't want to go too far because you know I'm just
testing it.
Yeah, still testing it. And
it was a birthday trip, wasn't it? So happy birthday for that.
Cheers, thank you. And my missus wanted to come along. She never wants to come along, basically. So I went, all right then. To be honest, over the years, she's become quite handy with the camera as well. Because so she does help me with the footage, which is good. So she wanted to treat me for something on my birthday. And she said, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I'm going to Belgium. So she went, I'll come with you then. We're going in the van. And we did have a night off. So we had a nice hotel and stuff like that. Sick. But the fishing side, just went up to try and catch that £50 mate that I want to catch this year out of the canal. So obviously that part of Belgium, there's not many around. Well, not the stretches that I know. They don't hold really.
Loads of them.
Yeah, if you catch 40 out there, you've done well.
Oh wow.
So but they're all epic fish, like the one I've just showed you. You know,
serious carp.
Yeah, it's real nice fish.
Special.
And I've had I had a few more on that session as well, but.
Well, make sure you check it out. There's a new video. Do you know when it's coming out? Roughly?
Shortly, it's done.
Not long.
Prominent is
keep
coming.
Your eyes out on the pages, and you'll get
So we but on that trip, it started really bad because it was like -2 when he got out there, and you take a gamble going over there in March. You don't know if the fish are woken up, and you don't know
they're going to be frozen.
You don't know the condition of the water, which was absolutely savage when I was out there. The water clarity was horrendous, so it made finding the carp really difficult when we was out there. So by the end of the week, I had to just start baiting and then coming back to it in a couple of days. And at the end of it, it paid off for me doing that. But the first couple of days was pretty much a write-off, just trying to track some carp down, which in the end I sort of thought, can't do it. It's not. I'm just wasting my trip driving all the time. So.
Yeah. Sometimes it's such a gamble to make that right decision. Do we move? Do we go?
But you'll find that if you ever do go on it, I spend more time in the van than I do with the rods in the water. Yeah. Which I've said to myself this year, I need to get better at it, really. But
like you say, if there's a confidence thing in your head that you've got to find them, you've got to feel confident, especially when you're making all that effort and travelling all them miles.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? You could spend 2 days trying to find them, but then when you do find them, it all comes good and it makes it worth them 2 days of looking. You know what I mean?
And I'm not that type of angler either, really. No. I'm not a static angler at all. As you obviously, I was travelling light with all my Nash gear and that over the years. Yeah. So I've fished in the middle of London for a good couple of years, good few seasons chasing fishing there. So minimal gear, walking around the city trying to catch those epic fish there. So I've sort of adapted that into my fishing, and pretty much, ever since I was at school, I was always getting told off and stuff, mate, because I just can't sit still. So,
I'm a bit the same.
Unless I'm talking like this and we're interacting, I can't sit still at all.
Yeah.
Even though if I'm catching fish by 10 o'clock. By the time it's gone, I reel in and I'll have to pack up and go for a walk. I'll come back to the same spot in 6 hours when I've got to get the rods out for the night.
When you think bite time is,
yeah, but I'll have to go for a walk. I don't know what it is about me.
It's not a bad thing, mate. Especially in fishing, it's definitely not a bad thing. People like Alan Blair and that, as you know, like the savage anglers, like, because they've just got that drive to just keep going, keep looking, keep moving, even if they, like say, just had one.
Yeah,
they're just like, where's the next one? You know what I mean? Like,
I know. I'm not sure if it is a good thing or not, but yes. I've always been like that, to be fair.
Yeah.
What you might find is like obviously talking about like your YouTube channel and stuff like that as well. Obviously that's like kicking off, which is good. But do you find like it's a bit of a juggle between actually angling and then shooting content? Or
yeah, because you know yourself, if you're trying to shoot a video in exactly the same spot all the time, it gets boring, doesn't it? Repetitive. So I suppose trying to tell a story when you're out there, I suppose it does come into it. Well, I've never actually thought about it really, to be honest, like that. I just do it because
you just get out,
because I have to. I should have probably been tested for ADHD when I was younger.
I'm kind of thinking the same, to be fair. My missus has said it recently.
I've thought that about you for years.
Yeah, have you? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like it's all coming. Yeah, I'm a bit like that. Like if I get something in my head, then that's it. I'm like obsessed about it for like a few days. Like
hyper focus, is that what they call it? Hyper focus. I think a lot of people with ADHD have that.
No. Oh yeah, I've done it ever since school. Really, yeah. No. Up until the last year, where I've been taking time out and just not done anything, I was absolutely obsessive with gym, boxing. Boxing was being massive.
I was going to ask you about that, boxing.
So yeah, that like up until the last year, I haven't fought for 18 months now.
Yeah,
and I've stuck on like 2 stone since. And but every night after work, I'd be down the gym.
You were into it big time, weren't you? Like a year or so ago.
Yeah. I was into it. Yeah, I've done it for years, mate. Thousands of rounds.
Yeah, mate. I used to do a bit of kickboxing when I was younger, and even the training and that. And it was like a mixed club, so they had boxers and kickboxers. Yeah. And they used to train us all together, and the training just like
it's intense,
savage, mate.
But
they basically want you to throw up, like
wow,
it's that bad. It's like that savage.
But I was so used to it. Because I've been doing it for so many years. That
conditioned.
Yeah, like if I didn't do it, I'd get really like down and depressed. Not really mentally depressed, but I'd know that I'm not doing it. And But I've sort of got into that over the last year. I've sort of got out of that sort of zone now.
I suppose you've got other things to focus on as well, like your camper van and your trips.
Yeah.
And obviously now you're with Tracker. You were with Nash, weren't you? So obviously you've got a lot going on.
Yes.
Changing like that.
Yeah, so when I was with Nash, I didn't really have to produce any content, just had to keep stuff going on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But now I've got to actually produce videos for Tracker.
Yeah.
So it's opened up an amazing door for me this year because I'm going to some dream places this year, mate.
Already got loads booked up. Which is
Been, so I'm off to France next week for 10 nights as well, public fishing.
Nice.
In the camper.
I was going to say, you're going to be in the camper for all of these little trips all around Europe and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's cool.
100%.
You were saying like you can literally open your door on a part of a canal or whatever and just literally fish with rods out.
Yeah.
No setting up bivvy, no bed, nothing. That's just like.
I found that.
So
I actually found it really so quick this time to move for fish, like I was saying to you earlier.
Yeah.
If I see something top or something to go on that's quite far down, I can reel those rods in. I'll just pack them out, put them in the side door, drive along, open it. I'm fishing again within like 2 minutes.
Wow.
On a different spot. It is. There isn't much.
Cool.
Well, I suppose you could do it with a normal van, just chuck it in the back, but
yeah.
But it was. I found it quite quick and easy.
Changer.
You can see when you walk into that. I built it as a shoe rack, so you put your shoes in. So if you're muddy, you don't trample them all around.
Yeah.
But basically, I've now used it as my
tackle box.
Yeah, my tackle storage and my legs.
Tackle box. Yeah.
So obviously got van door open. I've got a rod propped up against the van, and I'll just use that.
Mate, I'm so jealous. It is a sick van.
It's a sick van. You got a TV as well in there. All that
I don't know why I put the TV in, but it's quite handy actually. I've actually
used. If your missus is coming, she can see.
I've used it a hell of a lot more than what I thought I would, because after you. Even when you're in your bedroom, you're always scrolling on your phone, aren't you? Until whatever, God knows what time at night, and then
shouldn't be, mate. You should be out there hunting and looking and you know what I mean? What sort of angler is he?
I just told you I do all my work during the day, and then I'll use that period to sleep it off,
to unwind,
recharge, ready for the next day.
Fair play. We all do it, mate. I'm definitely one that sits there and. You just get this addicted, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
it is,
20-second little.
It's probably the longest time you've not been on your phone for the whole week.
Literally, I'm like twitching here now.
Yes.
So we've got some questions for you. One personally, what I wanted to ask you is obviously you're doing your abroad fishing now, but you used to do a lot of stuff in obviously in the UK fishing like you named forbidden routes, like forbidden places or places that are unheard of or unknown, and especially in London. Tell us a couple of like highlight or things that stand out to you, as in like sketchy moments or funny moments that have happened on the bank. Like, because I know people like yourself and Alfie Russell and stuff like that who fish these sort of places. Like, there must be some funny stories or some savage stories.
Yeah, I was trying to pick my brain about this earlier. Like, I've done so much fishing over the years that it all sort of I can't.
I
can remember having a slingshot pulled at me. And that was only just down the road here.
Really?
Yeah. I was fishing just a swim just past the gate, and I had my van on the gate.
Yeah.
And our van pulled up there about 2:00 at night, and I could hear them trying to get into the van.
Oh, no.
So I shouted to my mate. I said, "Ollie, there's someone trying to get into our vans, mate." And they heard me shout that.
Oh shit!
And they were a couple of travellers, and they went sick just for me saying that. So obviously were trying to get into.
Yeah. But they've just been.
Well, they had a proper, they had the Black Widows.
Yeah, the savage.
Metal ball bearing,
mate.
literally from us, like from me to you way.
That'll kill you, mate.
Don't you dare say that.
Wow.
I was like, oh mate. I was like, take my van if you want, mate.
It's not worth it.
Ball bearings to the head.
It's not worth it, mate. Take it.
No,
that's a pretty scary.
It was.
Moment. Yeah.
Do you have anything in London? Do you see any like crazy people or like anyone come up to you and be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, you do. On a couple of them, I fished in some of like the most central parts of London, like the big, like the lakes, which are quite popular, touristy and stuff. And
all sorts coming up.
Yeah, you get a lot of like sort of like green people like that don't like pretty much like the Crazy Swan lady on the Urban Banks films. You remember like that?
I remember, yeah.
So you get a few like that, which they're like, don't hook a fish, stop terrorising animals and stuff like that. But obviously they don't see it. But like, I've never really had too much. No, not too much grief.
Not too much
grief.
Like, you get some right characters, no doubt. Like trying to get into the photos and stuff, and you got fish.
100%. I've had that before. Yeah, I've had like 50 people in them part lakes. Like most of them are like Chinese tourists and stuff. They absolutely love it. They just come and stand in the way of what you're filming, like trying to take a picture of you and stuff. Like no care at all.
I love that. But, I suppose it is so like we're used to it, aren't we? But I suppose if you're not into fishing or ever seen a carp on the bank like that being held, like people just like taken back by it. You know what I mean? And especially in London where it's so busy, you're not expecting to go to London or Manor Park and see someone holding a carp.
And there's some of them lakes as well. They were pretty hot, like police going around them all the time because they're like right in the capital and they're patrolled all the time. And so you're trying to hook this fish, get it out, unhook it, take a picture as quickly as possible, and then suddenly a crowd of 50 people come round. And you're like, oh, cheers, mate. Cheers. And you're just trying
blow my cover.
Trying to get it back as fast as possible. One time I did actually have the police on that lake come up to me, and he was like, oh, that's a big one. And you actually got in the photo. I don't know where that photo is, but I must find that somewhere. But then again, I've had some police. Absolutely, they went ballistic at us once on that lake. So
it just depends like the guard, innit? Depends who you get.
Depends who you get, but I wouldn't change it for the world because I really enjoyed that lake. That's why I started London fishing. There was a big scaly one in there that I wanted to catch.
Did you ever catch it?
I did.
You did.
I did catch it.
I remember that
big
video,
scaly. Yes.
Yeah.
It's probably. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite an iconic one to me. That is.
Yeah, nice.
I love that fish. But it cost me thousands of pounds to catch it. Thousands of pounds, yeah. I wasn't really. I was quite new to all the London ULEZ congestion, all of that at that time. So I thought, I don't have to pay that. I'll just drive up and stuff like that.
Fine.
And then, I didn't really know. I didn't even bother checking the van, and then all those fines were going to my old address, and then they were tripling in, and you try and tell them that you've been sending it to the wrong address. They don't
Ain't
care.
having it, mate.
Honestly, I spent thousands of pounds.
I had that on a car tax once when we moved here. I got caught for it. Yeah, it's a nightmare because it was all going to the old house.
Oh no!
I changed everything, changed the driver's license, all that jazz, and then basally they were going to the wrong place, and it was hundreds, and I was livid.
Not ideal, is it?
Absolutely livid.
My missus goes ballistic as me. She goes, "You wasted money again."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's another one because they were going to that old address. Like when I was ringing up to pay, I was like, have I got any more? Like,
right, yeah.
And then they go, no, you're all cleared. And then another one will catch up within 3 months' time. And one of them was literally about £1,000 on its own. It was 3 in one time. I was like, you're having a laugh.
Wow.
You can't get out of it either.
No, there's no getting out of that, mate.
It's a good revenue stream for those guys now as well.
Yeah. I hate it. And I always said, if I ever buy another van, it's always going to be ULEZ compliant. But I've now bought that. It's not ULEZ compliant.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. You've got the tolls and that, but that's about it, isn't it, over there? So
this will make you laugh. So a mate of mine's just bought a Porsche. It's like a classic 911. It's got a 3.6 twin turbo and it's ULEZ exempt.
Oh my God.
And you're just like, oh.
Yeah. How's that happen?
Air pollution. But he's absolutely fine to drive wherever he wants. So.
I've made sure now, though, that it's all coming out automatically. So whenever I drive over the Dartford Bridge, there's congestion, it all
just comes out. You don't have to worry about it then, do you?
No, definitely can't make the same mistake twice.
No. Another one. What about worst accident on the bank? Any savage accidents or mishaps?
Worst accident? Not really, mate.
No, got away with it. Lucky.
A couple of hooks savagely deep in the finger. Yeah, that happened in the middle of London on that particular lake, actually. Yeah. I was doing something, and then as a mate says, I turned around and it's hit a branch and pulled it, long shank as well, straight around that. Yeah, apart from that, I've always been quite lucky on the bank, I'd say. Yeah. No falling out of boats or falling out of trees or
touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood. Don't want it to happen anytime soon either.
No, fair play.
We can't afford to have a time off work, can we?
No, definitely not. Not when you're self-employed. I know that it's a lot of pressure. Like even with the BMXing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, make sure you've got a helmet on. Make sure you're warmed up. Don't try.
You still ride?
Yeah, still ride. Yeah, still ride with Ben every week. Or every week. Especially in the summer, we ride the dirt jumps and stuff, and the weather's good.
It's still got different. I guess it's a bit like the fishing now. It's just like it evolves. What you're doing in your 20s, you're not going to be doing in your 30s and in your 40s and stuff. Because there are riders who ride in their 50s.
But you learn to respect the sport, respect what you're doing, instead of chucking yourself and just willy-nilly and going, I'll send it, I'm just going to send it. You don't have that mindset anymore. You respect it. So you're like, you stick to what you know, you just have fun with it, you enjoy it, you do it as a social, like we do. We'll go to the skate park on a Thursday night or something, ride till like 10 o'clock, and then there's the pub outside. We just go to the pub and have a quick beer. And
I used to love them days. So that was a big part when we was growing up. I used to do a lot of BMXing.
Oh, that's sweet.
Do you remember up Upfield area, like BB Woods and all that? You remember them?
BB Woods, Upfield.
It's like a big old bomb crate, and you used to go down and then straight up like they used to go to step up, and there was a 6-pack and that up there. We used to be up there every night after work. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But I don't know why I stopped riding years ago. I don't know. Got some serious scars up my legs from them. Metal pedals.
I was going to say, a BMXer. See a BMXer in shorts, he rides, or any sort of mountain bike or rider.
I love riding, mate. To be fair, like I wouldn't get on a BMX anymore. I'm not a small guy, am I? So I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think I could get on a BMX, but mountain bike, or jump bike, they're like in between, aren't they? I quite like going out for a ride, mate. Like, I don't do it often, but when I a friend of mine, he has like spare bikes, and when we do go out for a ride, I really enjoy it. It's so nice to get a bit of fresh air in the lungs, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't beat it, mate.
Stop at a pub for a quick beer, and then
you feel like you've earned it. When we go to Surrey Hills and stuff on the mountain bikes, we haven't done it for a while, but we used to do like a a couple of hour ride and stuff or something, and then there'd be like a tea and cake. It's normally a beer and cake at the end. Like,
it normally is,
and you need it as well. You burn so many calories, like it goes down a tree.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I do like a ride, mate. I should do it more often, to be fair. I should get one for the canals as well.
I was going to say that to you. Like what you want for the canals? Like what are they called? Is it Brompton?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to get, the fold-up one.
Bike, mate.
Yeah, I've been looking at it because obviously I can't get a full bike in there without trashing the front of the van. So I want to get a fold-up one to go underneath.
That'd be edgy,
really good.
Can you get an electric one? Can you get an electric to?
Not Brompton.
You just said about get the fitness.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, but you also didn't listen. I've got on 2 stone now. I'm not in fight condition anymore.
You probably do electric Bromptons.
It'll come. Yeah, I'll have a look.
Come, yeah.
Brompton would be good though.
Fold it up, pop it in. Fold up bike for the van.
I saw one in the tip yesterday. Should have got it.
Yeah.
Another
little project.
Yeah, I know.
Do up a bike
on a Thursday and a Tuesday. You can get down there after work, can't you? And Well, you can in my tip anyway. You can.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I can get rid of materials there.
Oh, sweet.
So without paying for it, so that's good. And then so I go there quite often on Thursday and Tuesday, and then they had a whole selection of bikes that people have chucked away, and I saw a little fold up one there.
Oh,
and I thought,
shit off, mate.
Like, yeah.
If it was broken, you could have just next Thursday dropped it back off.
Yeah,
it's not mine, honestly.
Yeah, it's not mine. It's not mine. Another thing we was going to try out this month is like a monthly news in angling, or stuff that's going on basically.
Right.
Sometimes around the world, or just in with fishing. A few things I'd mention this month that people might want to be interested in. Tom Dove and Neil Spoon have just done a quarter video of South Africa. Have you seen that yet?
I actually have. I watched it in the camper.
Oh, you watched it in the camper?
I did, yeah.
I watched it the other day. What did you think?
Do you know what? They're probably one of my favourite people to watch because they're good anglers, but they're also keep it. I think they've learnt from ITV and stuff, haven't they? It's fun, isn't it? It's fun to watch.
I was going to say, like, they're very close. I've said it to Ben. So it's like almost like watching Top Gear, but with fishing. The way, like, they just got that dynamic together. Their banter together just comes across really innocent, really fun, and it just works. You know what I mean?
They have proper good banter, don't they?
Good banter.
I actually really enjoy it.
It's really relatable for people that are into fishing and aren't into fishing. Because I know people have said to me, like, I've had customers say, "Oh, you into fishing now? Oh, I've watched that ITV program with those guys, and they love it, and they've never fished in their life." But yeah, I've watched it.
Even my missus likes so much. To be fair, she don't really like to watch fishing stuff, but she likes watching Spooner.
Oh, Spooner, he's funny, isn't he?
He cracks her up. So
yeah, no, they're both good. They both obviously got that friendly banter, and it just works. It's just like, but it's a good video. So anyone who hasn't watched that, give that a view. It's well worth it.
So I've been full out editing for the last month, and I have actually watched that. So I don't know what other questions you're going to have there.
Fair play. I also wanted to shout out the Uncut podcast that they're doing at the moment. I'm really enjoying them. Have you watched any of their?
I have not since. Who's taking it over now? Adam Reed?
Adam Reed, Tom Dove, Neil Spooner, and they got Damo in there as well.
What, all four of them do it?
Yeah,
do they?
But then now they mix it up, so they had Carl on, and then one of them would take a backseat.
Oh, right.
So Tom won't be in.
I used to.
Week,
like I said, I'm actually quite a big fan of listening to podcasts, so I've always listened to them. But
they're really good.
I used to listen to it when Rich was doing it.
I think he's still got them going, but they're more like the in-depth ones.
Oh, they are still going, aren't they?
I think they're still going, but not as so they're like alternate.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they work it, but so when they got a guest, if they're doing like a mindset one, where it's like interviewing someone like yourself or something, then it'll be Rich, I think, doing it. Whereas the uncut one's just them guys just having like a chat.
Oh, right,
an hour, once a week, I think it is.
Yeah, no, so I'll
really
have to give them a listen because I always like a podcast.
Yeah, we were watching it the other day, weren't we? Just looking at like production values, really high on it. It's fun. It's light-hearted, so
that's what I think it's good.
Half-heartedly, do they?
That's done well.
They are good, but I think it's just the whole thing, like you said there. It's just laid back, fun, easy to watch, and easy to listen to when you're at work. So giving them a shout out. Elliot and the boys from Typography have been out doing the next underwater video. You noticed that? I think they're fishing for the Woodside Common.
Are they?
Or the Waterside Common.
Oh, the Waterside Common. Yes, I have seen a few photos. Yeah, Tom Stokes and that's there as well.
I think they've got some big names on there. Yeah.
Yes, I have seen it, but do you know? I've done quite a few videos for Elliot and Typography, so I've got like a whole thing selection of my videos on there, and since it's gone to the underwater, I do like the odd one. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer an in-session piece video.
Yeah, I was gonna bring this up. So I've always liked Typography. I really like Elliot Gray. I've always followed him as I've grown up fishing, because he's similar age to us and that, so he's more relatable when we grew up. But when he started it, I've actually loved it. Like all the little, he's got the short videos, he's got the long videos, the in-session bits. I loved how it was mixture, like, you had a right mixture. If you didn't fancy that this week, you could do the Jim Shelley, or you could pick up another bit or like they do the quickfire questions and stuff like that. But then they've gone to the underwater videos, which are great, and he's fucking really good at doing it. You want
like an underwater video as a treat, don't you?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Like,
I feel like he will go. I feel like
he will go.
I hope he will go back, because I don't know how long you can keep doing underwater videos as well. There must be
It must be such a mission trying to set up those cameras every single time.
He loves it, doesn't he? He said in one of his videos that he lives and breathes that, like, how hard it is and that other people won't do it or struggle to do it, so that makes him want to do it more. But yeah, I think they're filming it as we speak. By the time this podcast
that'd be pretty mental, wouldn't it?
We'll find out whether they caught it or not. Yeah, I mean, I can almost guarantee that it's on shot. They get it on shot. Whether they catch it or not, I don't know. We'll find out. But
yes.
That was one I thought I'd share. And then Spiro, I've got some new products out that I thought I'd mention. They got a barrow strap, which I thought was pretty cool. I haven't seen anyone bring out. So it's like a military strap. It goes around your barrow, obviously, and you can just tighten it up. But normally everyone's using bungee cords, and they always wear and tear and break. I
have seen someone do that.
Have
before.
You?
Yes.
I haven't seen one. I saw it this week, and I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, where you just pull them like that.
Yeah, it's like just clips together.
Yeah,
pull them.
I have actually, because I nicked one off my mate years ago.
Yeah,
Fox brought one out.
Oh,
and
did
they did have one. Yeah, because they come on them little low. I
must have missed that because I've literally saw it pop up the other day and I thought that's a good. Because
he was asking me for it back for a good couple of years.
Such a good idea.
So I do know.
Bloody hell, the amount of bungee cords I've gone through, like because they just get old and you leave them out in the rain and then they get brittle, don't they?
Yeah,
so I
they
thought
do.
That was good. They got a new reversible jacket as well, so it's DPM on one side and olive green on the other side, and you can literally take it off, reverse it.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Which I thought was like quite different. It's like I would say spring summer jacket.
Yeah.
So waterproof jacket. So it's not for the winter.
Obviously,
really,
I only
pretty good.
Only allowed to use one type of gear now. So I don't really look at new products and stuff that come out unless it's something that I have to use. Tracker or Nash in the past.
That's fair.
That's
fair, mate. And they've also, lastly, not that you're interested, because but the other people might be interested. Is they got new Crocs out, which are actually quite good looking.
Actually, Crocs is it a collab or? Like they sort of...
No, they're own.
No, their own
version.
Crocs. Yeah, they're not actually... they're just Croc style shoes, but they're quite good looking ones.
Slip-ons.
Some of them are ugly, aren't they? Like big, horrible things, but these ones are quite nice.
I've got a set for the van that I use. Just get in and out. Like when you're getting a take. And
in the summer as well, when you're fishing lakes where like there's the swim, you can like walk into the lake. When you're netting fish and stuff, you can just walk in barefoot. By the time you sort the fish out, your feet are dry again. And you know what I mean. They're brilliant for that. So, yeah.
What's interesting is like has there ever been like a fishing brand, like clothing brand that's like blown up into the mainstream? Because like in skateboarding, you've got Palace, and that's like or Thrashers like hit the mainstream. All of a sudden, it's in H&M. Like every kid's dressing in that style.
There is one now that's starting to. It's not even a clothing brand, is it? But on pictures once.
I was going to say
that should be on your thing, shouldn't it?
Yeah, no, but it is now.
No, mainstream.
He's in
hippo thing.
Hippo. What's it? Hippo chunkamus or
basically,
whatever he calls it. Isn't it something like that?
Yeah.
He's got a clothing brand. It's quite funny. Like
fair play to Mark, mate. I don't personally know Mark. I've never actually met him, but fair play to him because he's got it into real success.
Is it George Asda?
Yeah,
he's got his clothing now in Asda. Yeah,
but he's also doing a raffle. He started the first CARP fishing raffle company.
Oh, okay.
Mate, he's made really successful.
I've seen car companies like people do that with cars and stuff.
Yeah,
and they've done...
it's blown up massively.
Yeah. He's certainly done well for himself now.
Is it Capital CARP?
Capital CARP, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Sometimes I did have the odd punt on it. Did you?
Yeah, I had a punt last week for that camo van.
Oh, mate, you'll never go this week. I've got a camper van, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh, right. When's it? I'll be doing that tonight.
It's like £25 a ticket now. It's getting outrageous, isn't it?
Shout out to them, mate. They're doing really well.
It's just the odds, though, isn't it? You pay 25 and then you can win a camper van. Someone must win it.
No, that is... I think they've put the prices up so you get an instant win on every single ticket. So I think they've done that. So that's why they can charge £25 a ticket.
That's interesting.
But honestly, he's doing really well. So fair play to him. Yeah. But going back to your original question, he's a couple of years ago he done a film called Pursuit for Carpiness or something.
Yeah, that's it.
Like a spin on old Tales videos, and
he is funny, old Mark, and he's great on camera.
And they travelled all the way around it, and then I think he hooked a fish, and he went, "That's a hippopotamus chunk or something."
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
and then it's stuck, and he's got like this T-shirt printed with it's got a hippo face with a fish fish.
It's like a carp, like a cartoon carp with like a hippo's face.
Yeah.
But it's really clever.
And now it's in Asda's.
It's in George Asda's.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And fair play to him. It must take some doing to get it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done for remembering that. And good question.
There was another one as well. Was it like DM? Back in the day, you don't see him much anymore, do you? Can't you remember when we was growing up? DM.
Yeah, DM.
All that camo stuff with like the red zips and all that.
Yeah, I do.
And they're in Sports Direct, aren't they?
They're in Sports Direct, yeah. I don't know if they're not around anymore, are they?
They're still in Sports Direct.
Oh,
yeah.
DM, yeah.
It's just interesting because it's almost, I know fishing's huge, but it's almost, from the outside's point of view, it's almost like a subculture. You know, it's got that vibe about it, the travelling and all that type of stuff. And I just wouldn't be surprised one day if there's something became a bit more, a little brand all of a sudden blows up, becomes like a streetwear-y type thing.
Yeah.
Because you see it with
Waft Street.
I was going to say Waft are probably the closest to like that streetwear. They got that image is like spot on in it. I do like their Waft.
And they might just need an influencer to wear it, and all of a sudden, because that happened with Superdry with Beckham, he just wore that Osaka t-shirt and it just went boom.
Yeah.
And like Vans trainers 15, 20 years ago were like pure skate, almost grungy.
Yeah, they were,
and
weren't they?
now they're in the top 5 trainers.
I think
in the UK. Everyone wears Vans, right?
Once my brand kicks off, it'll be out there in
no
you'll be able to get this one day, you know.
Limited edition.
Well, we've got some voice notes.
Yeah, we've got some voice notes. Let's run these.
Voice notes. Finish up on.
Let's get these going. All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Yeah, what am I doing?
We're just going to listen to these voice notes and talk upon whatever they talk on.
All right, there we go. See if this works.
See what they're saying.
So my story isn't really a funny one. I mean, it's funny now looking back, but it was absolutely petrifying at the time. So it was when I was probably around about 12 years old. Yeah, 11, 12, something like that. And I used to go away fishing with my mum and dad quite a bit. So we'd go away on fishing holidays. And I remember this one time in particular, it was absolutely, I think it was December time, and it was absolutely freezing. And I just got a brand new bivvy, like my first ever bivvy, and I was absolutely buzzing. And I insisted on staying in it for the night on my own, obviously dad next to me type thing. And we just had dinner with my mum for the night. We trotted on down back to our bivvies, pitch black. And in my swim, I was on quite, kind of like the swim was quite a steep. Yeah, it was quite steep. So I'd got my pod right down as well. So my tips were right in the water. And yeah, so it was quite steep getting down to my alarms. So my dad goes to me, "Oh, it's all right. I'll put your bobbins on for you, just because obviously like I don't want you to fall in." So I was like, "Yeah, all right then, no worries." And he's put the first bobbin on absolutely fine. Put the second one on as he's putting the second one on, he's gone arse over tit into this lake, and oh my god. Anyway, he comes up. And he's like shivering like mad. And I'm only a kid as well. I've managed to like help him get out. And he's in a really bad way, like a really bad way. Gets him into his bivvy. Told him to like he starts stripping off. And I thought I was panicking like mad. So I thought, I'm going to have to go and get my mum. But at this time as well, I was only young at this time. I used to wear rigger boots. God knows why. For some reason, mum and dad bought me rigger boots to fish in. Steel toe caps, freezing cold weather, bloody Baltic feet. Anyway, I've got these rigger boots on, and the lodge was on a massive hill. It was at the top of a massive hill. So anyway, I've gone bombing up, or tried to go bombing up there. I wasn't really I was never good on cross country, I'll tell you that. And anyway, I've got to the top. I'm banging on this door. It was like, Mum, like shouting for my mum. And she comes out in a panic. I was like, Dad's just fell in. You need to come and help me. So we goes down there. And anyway, yeah, well, he was in a really bad way. But thankfully, he was absolutely fine in the end. But it was just, as you can imagine, when you were a kid, it was absolutely mortifying.
I bet she was shizzing herself. Minus conditions. Her dad's just falling in, and like obviously as a youngster, you're just panicking, innit?
I can imagine that would be fucking horrible.
No one likes going to the lake when it's like -2.
No, definitely
not fully clothed, that's for sure.
I've fallen in a few cold lakes before.
Yes. You don't want to ring your mum when you was young,
Yeah.
did you? No. Oh, come pick me up.
Yeah. Oh, mate. All those times are like, not as bad, but you know when you get to the lake and you've got the grass banks and you're just setting up, the amount of times as a kid, you'd just slip in. Your mum's just dropped you off, or your mate's dad or whatever, and your foot would slip in. You end up doing a whole 24 hours or 48 hours with a wet foot. Your fucking foot's just gone in. I used to do my thing.
Always got to take spare clothes now, haven't you?
Yeah, well, back then we weren't that bright.
No, we definitely weren't, no.
Tracksuit bottoms.
Go in your school uniform.
Yeah, literally.
Straight from school.
Straight from school.
Here we go, guys. Number 2.
What's happening, boys? Got another one for you. A bit of a rant, but let me just wet my mouth with a bit of Heineken quick. Oh, yeah.
Good boy.
So, this one's a social we was on. And we're booked on at the end of the month as well to go back, where we haven't fished together for over a year. So, looking forward to it. But last time we was there, or the time before, I was doubled up with my mate Dan, the penis, who decided to bump a fish off for me.
Oh, man.
And yeah, we all have it. Everyone's done it. I don't think I've done it for someone, to be fair. But anyway, I had this fish when it was a stocky. Nice little fully scaled mirror. But obviously when you catch them as a stocky, you can appreciate, yeah, they look good, but you want to catch them when they're bigger. So it was always on the back of my mind, this fish. And I was like, yeah, I know it's in here. I'd love to see it again. Years have gone by, back down there. And it happened to be that fish. After barbecues, smashing back beers, rods peeled off, playing the fish, put the head torch on, I see it's that fish, and I'm like, yes, buzzing. Let's get that fucker in the net. But that didn't happen because of the penis, Dan. He had other plans for me. He literally just went, fuck you, Pete. You ain't having this fish, pretty much. The beers played a toll.
Oh, no.
I'm like walking back saying, like, Dan, is that fish in the net yet? Like, surely that's done. He's like, no, it's not. I don't know what he was doing. So we went to take 2. Fish has gone back out a bit. I'm giving it some, getting it back in, and I'm like, that's definitely ready. I'm standing next to him at this point with a head torch on it, and literally the carp's mouth is like just surfacing the water. And he's literally put the net cord against the line, and the hook has just pulled in front of us. And I've just seen this fish just do the slowest roll with its fin saying, fuck you.
Must be a sea fisherman out there.
And Dan saying, fuck you.
Bumping him off.
You're not having it.
Oh, my
and I
God.
just literally, you know those moments where you just look at your friend and you're like, just walk away from me, or you're going to swallow some teeth. Obviously, you don't mean that, because I love him dearly, but at that moment in time, I was like, mate, like, that's pain.
Oh, no.
That's pain. And I know other people can, obviously, have definitely had experiences like that.
There'll be a few.
But yeah, you can always rely on your best friends, can't you?
So
But I'll leave you with a joke. A shit dad joke. So what do you call an American bee? A USB. Have some of that.
That's terrible. Oh. Have you ever had fish bumped off for you?
So his mate didn't knock it off once. He knocked it off twice.
No, well, he missed the first netting.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, fish has gone back out. He's played it for a bit. He's come in, and Pete's gone, oh yeah, definitely this time. Got his head torch on.
Oh
and
God.
He's just done the classic thing of net cord against the line. And just, bumped it off for him.
Yeah, that would not have been ideal, would it?
Yeah. Did you see the one that happened? Comes to mind on that video with Fox, and they always bring it up. I forgot who it was. I think it was. Oh, who was it? Mark Pitchers or someone was playing a fish, and what's his name? Bumped it off, and they won't live it down now.
What, Harry?
Well, I think it wasn't Harry.
No.
What's the other one who does a lot of pike fishing? Oh, it'll come to me. But yeah, he knocked it off, and
did he?
Yeah, and they won't live it down. I think Tom Maker was there as well. Yeah, and like every other video, they all those 3 together. They always bring it up. It's quite a funny moment. I've never had someone bump off a fish.
No, I haven't
actually,
either.
But
no,
that's a dreadful thing, especially if it was a target. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
That someone would die.
You have to have quite a bit of trust now, don't you? For like, I don't think I've had anyone land a fish for me for years. Don't think, anyway.
No, you do. I like to do.
Yeah, I fish quite a lot on my own now as well. So it's like,
probably the safest way.
Yeah, it's the safest way, isn't it?
There is that always nervous.
Don't let anyone ever touch your net.
It's the worst when you're in a syndicate and someone goes, and someone you don't know is in the swim or walks past and goes, "Oh, you got one? Oh, do you want a hand?" And you're like, "Not really, mate. You don't want to be rude." Do
you remember that?
Because if he does bump it off or doesn't net it properly or something, you're like, "There's going to be a problem, mate."
It used to be like a thing, didn't it, when you was young? So you go, just try and net it for you. Like it was a little treat for you to net someone's fish, but no, that's definitely never done that, and I hope it never happens either.
No,
I know how painful it can be to lose a fish, especially if you've been after it.
Just losing a fish is bad enough, let alone your mate bumping it.
I lost that redfish, the one from London.
No, you didn't.
I lost it 2 years ago, right at the net.
That fish is mega.
Yeah, so I hooked it. And then I had it on for a while, and then as it was coming for the net, I decided to go for one last charge, and I had my small reels on, and I've changed them now. But back then, like sometimes just randomly, loads of line would just burst off, and then got caught around the top eye when it was going on this charge, mate. and I ran out of bank.
Oh no!
Bang! I couldn't believe it.
Nothing you could do.
I've never been so gutted in my life. Like. User error or whatever. But
I see someone holding that the other week. Some random holding it up, so it's obviously still about.
Yeah, it is still about. It's on my list to go back.
And do it.
It's such a long way.
Yeah.
Travelling through all there, just to and a long walk as well down with all your gear to do at night, and then one fish in the lake.
Yeah, literally is one fish in one other common, isn't it? Or something. Yeah,
there's three, but it's not ideal. And when I hooked it was at the big lake as well, which was a lot bigger. I didn't realise it could it could go through, or unless someone caught it and put it in the big lake.
Yeah.
But I hooked it.
Alfie was the first one to bring that to light, wasn't he? Video or
no.
Not?
Well, he brought it to light, but someone else had caught it.
Had caught it before.
I can't remember his name. But he caught quite a few in London. He was the first one. I saw pictures of it.
I'm trying to get
Sick
Alfie
fish
on.
Though. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll get him. I'll get him. Is there any more?
Yeah, one more.
Oh, one more.
Hello, Matt. My question to Jack is, what is the sketchiest place you've ever had to fish, and why was it so sketchy?
I fish some pretty savage places in London. I don't know. It's a couple that spring to mind.
You're allowed to name them though. Was it all right?
One of them actually, I can name this. Like doing, like sketchy in what way? Like night fishing or what?
Probably,
or in. All of them are sketchy, mate. To be fair.
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say
some
London.
of them are like in and out, but like night fishing, I can name this one because everyone knows. Like if you ever go to London, and you start fishing Shadwell.
Yeah,
you ever heard of Shadwell Basin?
Yeah.
It's rough around that area, mate. And I decided I was just going to pull up and do a night there once, mate. And there was like gangs, like proper hooded gangs, mate, everywhere around there at night. And I wasn't really. I was new to all London fishing and that then, so it's sort of, I didn't feel too safe there at that point. But,
I must say that that's one thing that's never really taken my fancy. I'm the first to admit that I like to just be relaxed.
Yeah.
And that whole, not so much poaching, but the whole like that.
Yeah.
Being on edge. Like some people love it and thrive off it. I've got a couple of mates that do.
Yeah.
But and they've always, some of them have invited me, like, let's go fish this place. And I'm like, nah, I like to be set up and just like, know that I'm allowed to be there. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. In a couple of my videos back in the day when I was stupid and stuff, I did fish in really stupid places.
Yeah.
And I ended up in the police station twice for them.
Wow.
So I wouldn't do that again because, that's not the type of angler I am.
No, you've
catch them out of a little pond or whatever. But, they were pretty sketchy, but I'd say, mate, they all like. I fish in big lakes that are like triple SIs and stuff like that. They're always sketchy. You always got to be on your toes, haven't you? You get caught with them triple SIs.
Do you get used to it though? Is it something you get used to, or is it always like a bit sad?
Touch wood. Do you know what? I've always been pretty clever at it.
Yeah,
I'd say if you can be clever about doing that sort of thing, I'd always be there after dark or whatever, and then gone first thing in the morning, so you're not really harming anyone or stuff. But yeah, mate, there's been some dodgy ones. There's a lake in London which I really want to go back to. It's not it's not publicised. No one really knows about it. I found it a couple of years ago, and I was having to wade my bed chair onto the island and fish in there in a park because I just felt so unsafe.
Fucking hell, so you're actually fishing from
really
the
really
island.
rough area again, and I was stashing my gear on.
Yeah.
I was stashing my gear on an island, and because you just knew that no one was going to be walking through the lake to get to it.
No, of course not. You're going to hear him.
Yeah.
Some crackhead coming across the lake, you know what I mean? Some crackhead.
I gave that a half-hearted effort, that lake. It's something I really must go back for, that one.
Yeah.
But I left my gear on there for like 2 months as well, like wrapped up in one of the pantries.
Wow.
And
that's proper effort, that is.
And
I've
done about 3 or 4 nights. Did have a couple of nice ones, but there's only about 10 fish in there, I should imagine. But got to go back for that one.
Yeah, do it, mate.
It's got to be done. But
so you get to pick, or no, we're going to do different this time, aren't we?
Yeah, subscribe, best comment,
subscribe, best comment, and when this video is released, when this podcast released,
for the pouch,
they get to win the pouch, the air dried boilie bag pouch, from Spiro. So cool. Wrap it up there.
Like and subscribe.
Put a comment in the, and also
comment below.
I'm sure you have already, but give this man a follow. Check out his latest videos. Going to be coming out on Tracker.
Yeah,
YouTube channel soon.
Gonna keep my my channel going as well. I have got some backed up, ready to go on that as well. So doubly hard at work this year.
You're out filming next week as well. So busy times.
Got 3 films in the bag already, edited. So
maybe later on in the year we'll get you back on. We can talk about some of these trips that you're
no
coming up.
Yeah, been a good little chat, hasn't it?
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Enjoyed
mate.
it.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
Cheers.